Hi everybody, it's me Tess with Tess Loves Yarn. Sorry about that. Get my camera straight here. Today I'm going to show you how I embroidery my eyes on my lovies and on all my toys meant for babies. Because here's the thing, y'all. Safety eyes are not safe for children under the age of 3. They have a warning on the box. It says it's a choking hazard. It is a choking hazard. So don't do it. Don't do it. If you're making a lovey, lovies are intended for babies. Or if you're making anything intended for a baby, do not use safety eyes. They can come out. You know, they absolutely can come out. So I cannot stress to you enough. Don't use them. Be safe. Embroidery those eyes. And you can embroidery beautiful eyes on your items meant for babies. And I'm going to show you how. Just let me show you a little example. Here's a duck that I made. And these are very pretty eyes that I embroidered on the duck. A different eye that I do is this eye right here that I have on the unicorn right here. And then here's the little teddy bear, and it's just a plain black eye on the teddy bear. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I would put an eye on this, and this eye you can use on any animal. I'm just using it on my cow that I made. You guys, I want to tell you too, this cow pattern is actually meant to be a black and white cow. It's a pattern, the base pattern that I have modified to turn into this cow is actually a Mama Made Minis pattern. I did change the ears. I changed this up here because I put hair on him, and then I changed the colors that are used in the pattern. So I did change the pattern a little, but it's basically the Mama Made Minis cow pattern. And so yeah, that's this, and there you can see the kind of the whole thing. Lovies are, like I said, intended for babies because babies cannot grab on to things full of polyfill. Their little hands won't let them. They need to be able to do this and close their fist to hold on to something. And so that's why lovies are not stuffed, so that babies can grab on like this and hold on to it. Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera down, do a little flippy there, and we are going to embroidery those eyes. And what you're going to need is not to drop your tapestry needle, right? You're going to need a tapestry needle. I like to use these metal needles with the bent end. That's my favorite needle to use. You're also going to need some pins, just like regular old straight pins are fine. You can use those. You're going to need 2 to 4 of them. If you have embroidery dies before, you might only need 2. If you're new at this, 4 might be better, just to mark your stitches where you're going to be putting your thread through. You're going to need some worsted weight number 4 worsted weight yarn in black and probably white as well. I use white and black on a lot of my eyes, not always, but I do. So I would recommend you have black and white. I use the Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn brand of yarn to do my embroidery. I like it. It holds up well. Yeah, it just does a good job. And I use the worsted weight on all of my projects with blanket yarns and with Chanel yarns. Okay, now if I'm doing a project with like a worsted weight yarn, then I usually use like regular embroidery thread to do my eyes. But that's only if I do the project in a worsted weight yarn to begin with. I do not do a lot of those anymore. I just don't. So we're gonna flip the camera and I'm gonna show you how to embroidery this eye, okay? Give me 1 second to flip the camera down and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have my little cow, my Highland cow Lovey, and I have this little tin where I keep my acrylic yarn that I use to embroidery faces. I have pink to do cheeks. I have black and white to do eyes. I also have other colors for eyes because sometimes I want to do the pupils in different colors, and I will use green, blue, and brown sometimes for eyes as well, but today I'm just going to show you with the black and the white. Okay, and so I'm gonna put my little tin with my yarns in it aside over here, and I'm going to show you what I have done here. This is where your pins, your little straight pins, are going to come in handy. All right, I forgot to say you're also going to need a pair of scissors. These are my favorite scissors right here. I have these. You're going to need a tapestry needle. I like to use these with the bent end right here. Okay, so I'm going to use one of these. I think I'll use the purple one. I just really like the purple one. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what I did here. So if you can see this, I have two pins here. They're these golden pins right here, and I'm going to point to them. So here's one and here's one right here, and then on the other side I have marked once again with two pins where I want to put those stitches. Okay, so what we're going to do, you are going to use your pins just like I have here to, to mark your stitches. There you go, you can see those better. And you're going to want to use your acrylic yarn, and you're going to go across an entire stitch. So my pin right here is at the bottom of this round, and then I've put another pin up at the top. So this one whole line of stitches right here is what I'm going to take my acrylic yarn and go back and forth over the top of this one round. Okay, and then I've marked the other eye and just followed this round over to here right under the horn. If you don't have something like a horn to use for marking your eye, a lot of times you can use the ear, as long as it's not way off to the side like these cow ears. A lot of times if you're doing cats or dogs or other animals like that, the ears are going to be up on the top more, and you can follow straight down from the ear and put your eye underneath the ear. So on a lot of animals you can do that. But the best thing to do is just mark your eye, and then you know, look at it when you've got your pins in like this and kind of see if they look good, if they line up and so forth. That is the whole reason for using the pins, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my black acrylic yarn and I'm going to get a fairly long piece and cut that off. And then I'm going to thread it through. My yarn needle right here, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in off to the side. I'm not going in right where the eye is. I want to come in down here somewhere, okay? And I'll tell you why when we end. So I'm going to come in down here somewhere and I'm going to come up into where my first bottom pin is, which is right here. So I'm going to pull on that pin and I'm going to place my first stitch right in. I pull up my pin here. I'm going to place it right in here where this first pin is. See? And I'm going to just pull it through until I have just a little bit left for tying a knot right here. You just need a little bit here for tying a knot. I would say maybe leave about 3 inches. So I've got my yarn in where that first pin is, and then I'm going to go back in where my second pin is. So right here where the second pin is, you can see the pin right there, and I'm going right in where that pin is, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these pins out now because I have the spot marked where I'm going to be going in and out. So now what you're going to do, you are simply going to go back and forth over this same stitch right here. Okay, you're just going to keep going back and forth until you build that eye up. You're going to go over this numerous times. There is no set amount. It's just what it needs to be for this particular animal. You're just going to keep building that eye up. So just on a typical eye, I will go over it at least 8 to 10 times. So right now this is the 4th time going over it. And see how it's starting to build up there? You're just going to continue going through the same 2 stitches. You're not going through any other stitches. It's the original stitch that you came through on the bottom and the original stitch on the top. You're just going to keep going through those. But you are building up your yarn as you're doing it, and that's what's going to make your eye appear fuller and give it the shape that you want it to have. Now don't pull overly tight because then your stitches are going to start to look wonky. So just, you know, you want to give it a firm little go, but not too tight. You don't want to over tighten that stitch, okay? So I'm going to kind of go over this way a little bit with this one. You just want to fill in any little spots. Like I said, I typically go, I would say usually at least 10 times, just to really give my eye some good shape and definition. And then you just want to guide your yarn. You can always take the tip of your needle and move it too, like I'm doing here. And then sometimes I will go just only to one side if I want the eye to tilt or slant a little. Sometimes I go over equally on both sides if I want it to be more of a rounder eye. It just depends on what kind of eye I'm really going for as to how I do it. But you can play with this yourself and see how you like your eyes to look. What kind of shape do you want to give your eyes? And then, you know, once you kind of discover that, then you can always do it that way if that's what you like. I vary. Sometimes I want my animals to have more of a slant to their eyes. Sometimes I don't. It just really depends on the animal that I'm making and how I want that individual eye to look. So this eye, I am almost about done with the black here, I think. I'm gonna give it one here, and I think I'm gonna give it one more stitch on this side. All you do is guide that yarn over whatever side you want it to fall on. Just kind of guide it with your finger like I'm doing here. There we go. Okay, now I'm pretty happy with this eye right now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll do one more stitch. Got a little fuzz there, sorry. I'm going to do one more stitch around this way, and then I'm going to come out down here where my other yarn is. So that's how I'm going to end, and I'll show you why you want to do that. So there, I'm going to come out in that very same stitch down here, and I'm going to guide my last eye stitch. I'm going to guide that yarn over to the side I want it on, which is this one right here. Okay, and there we go. So here is this eye. I am done with my black yarn, so I'm going to take it. I've got my two ends down here. I'm going to clip the yarn. I'm going to tie this off, just like so. I like to tie it in 3 knots. So that was 1, that's 2, and this is 3 right there. Then what you want to do is you want to cut your yarn a little bit more. Leave at least an inch, but cut it to where it's only about an inch long. And then what I do is I take my tapestry needle. I'm going to use the gold so you can see it. And I just take the end, see where the big eye is? That's the end you want to use. You don't want to use the pointy end, or you'll be trying to do this all day if you use the pointy end. Use the big wide eye part of your needle and take it, lay it across your yarn like this, and just poke it back into the body of the animal. See? Just like that. Back into that head. And your stitches, your knot is gone, can't be seen, and your eye is finished right there. Now if you're happy with this eye just like it is, it can be finished right now. Now what I like to do is I like to add a little white to my eye. You don't have to, but I like to. So I'm going to cut some white yarn. With the white, you don't need as much as you do with the black because it's only going to be a little bit of an accent, so you don't need much. But I'm going to, once again, I'm going to thread my needle here, my tapestry needle, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in over here somewhere, and then what I like to do is start at the very bottom right here. I'm going to pull up with my white thread. I'm going to leave 2 to 3 inches down here so I can tie it. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in at the top of the stitch, and I'm going to wrap that yarn right around the side, but instead of going all the way back down to this stitch, I'm going to come out right in the middle. Whoops, got some stuffing there. I'm going to come out in kind of, not in the exact middle, a little up from the middle, but I'm going to come up right there. I'm going to wrap the white around the black like this, and then see where the stitch is kind of coming out of the middle of the eye. Then I'm going to go back into the top again, right here, and I'm going to come out where we started, which is off to the side right here. And you're going to be very careful at this point because you don't want to pull this little part that's coming out. You don't want to pull this one too tight, because if you do, you'll lose the stitch altogether. So I just like to give it just a gentle little tug, just like that. And this stitch is all good. You can see that's how your eye looks. You got that little white gleam in the eye right there. And your white is now finished. You're finished with your white yarn. Just make sure it's like off to the side where you want it, because you don't want this side piece covering up any of your black yarn. You just want it to be off on the side, just like that. And like I said, don't pull this one too tight or it's going to disappear, okay? And you don't want that to disappear, okay? So now what we do, we're going to just do the same with the white yarn that we did with the black, and we're going to tie our knot in it. I'm going to cut this off. We're going to tie our knot, and like I said, I like to tie 3 knots in my yarn. So I'm going to go 1, and don't pull too tight or you're going to mess with your stitches again. So I'm going to go 1, oops, 2, and 3, just like that. I'm going to cut those tails off a little. I'm going to come back in with my tapestry needle, with the one with the big eye, using the big eye side. I'm going to lay it across that knot, and I'm going to push it in, just like that, until that yarn disappears. There we have it. So, as you can tell, you can't see where the black yarn was or the white yarn. And that's what you want. By putting it off to the side, you don't mess up your eye. You keep your eye nice and tidy. So there we have the eye. As you can tell, looks beautiful. And now if you wanted to, you could add some eyelashes out to here, like so. Or you could just leave it just like this. And I kind of like my cow just like this. I think that is a great little cow eye right there. I think she looks very sweet. And so that is how I'm going to do this cow. However, if you did want to put in an eyelash on your animal, it's very easy to do. I'm going to switch over and show you this one. After you do your black and your white, you simply take your black thread and you make 2 stitches, one going straight out to the side and the other one going up about a 45-degree angle, just like this. And you do it after you do this black part. So you're going to do all of your black part right here. And then your last stitches will be coming out from the top and going over here, and then going back in through this stitch, coming out back over here again, and coming up to that 45-degree angle. And then you'll pop out down here wherever you first put your yarn in and tie it off and do exactly what I did with my cow right here. So that is how you do the eyes. That's how you do the eyelashes. Like I said, finish your black part first. And then when you pop back out at the top, just come straight over in through this stitch and then pop it back out right here. Go up to this stitch right here and then come out and back down wherever you started your yarn. And that's how you do an eyelash. Super easy, everybody. So yeah, these eyes are super easy to do. They're very cute and they're 100% baby safe. And that's what we want, everybody. Okay? So yeah, I'm going to turn the camera back around and talk to you for another minute. So give me a quick second here to turn that camera around. I hope that you really like these eyes. I love embroidering eyes on my lovies. I think they look way better than those plastic safety eyes anyway. So yeah, give me a second. I'm going to turn the camera back around and I'll be right back. Okay. What am I doing here, you guys? Here we go. Okay, I've got the camera turned back around on me. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial on how to do eyes safely by embroidering them on instead of using the plastic safety eyes. They look fantastic. They're very easy, as you could see. You just go in one stitch and out the other and just build that up until you have an eye. It couldn't be any easier. So please try this and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you embroidery eyes on your amigurumi? Have you done it? If not, are you going to give this method a try? I hope so. Okay, because I think you're really going to like it, guys. All right, so that is it for today. If you want any other tutorials on how to embroidery faces, including mouths, little noses, cat noses, or anything like that, I always embroidery my items on for babies, so I do quite a bit of that. So let me know in the comment section below if you want a specific tutorial on a specific part of the face. I will be happy to make a video for you. All right. Also, I just want to say, if you're new here, I'd be tickled pink if you'd hit that subscribe button. If you're one of my returning subscribers, you know I appreciate you so much and I'm very grateful for you. So thank you for being here. And you guys, you know what comes next. Be kind and be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.